Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Stand Your Ground Saturday here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and I'm alone again, apparently. Yeah, this was gonna happen like almost an hour ago. That's probably why. So, and then I was asleep, obviously, and I'm awake again, at least for temporarily, anyway. But yeah, so basically for today, we're gonna talk about how do you self-defend. Um, this was going to be a panel discussion of various things. It might just become episode 3 eventually, but yeah, it'd basically be about what people. Oh, and we go over Corey here. What's going on?
Hi, man.
Anybody else gonna know?
I don't know. I know Leo was saying he was going because he left the back chat of Matt's
Okay.
earlier and said he was going to hop over to see if you were on, but he wasn't sure if you fell asleep or not.
No, I was just sleeping, and then I woke up a little bit ago.
Did you send him a message?
I sent everybody a message. I said time was going to be, and yeah, everybody's things was still offline, so I don't know. Whatever.
So what's on the agenda?
We're just gonna talk about how to self-defend.
Yeah, with the zombie apocalypse coming, huh?
Guns carrying, everything else like that. And I was also going to talk about this raffle thing that's going on here locally. It's got a bunch of different firearms that doing giveaways on at this thing where you got to be there to actually collect. It's like half 9mm, and then there's like a couple 450 Bushmasters, 308, 350 Legend, a couple 12 gauges, 1911, etc., etc. Wheel guns.
So let me ask you a question, since I know you're a big Taurus guy. How much would you pay for a used G2C and the what is it, the PT-111 Millennium G2 before they changed the name and did a different model?
So you're saying what would I pay for both guns together?
No, separately.
Okay. Uh, well, I mean, the thing is, you can go right now and I can buy a brand new G2C for like, I think it's like 220 to 240 out the door.
Okay, one thing I did leave off is the frame is that fucking weird robin egg blue color.
Okay. I mean, that does add like a teeny bit of value usually because it's about, um, I know they sell those from like another 10, $15 more expensive is what it is. But even still, I would say, honestly, if it's been used for quite a while, uh, I would say no more than $180, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I figured too. What about the other one, the PT-111?
Probably even less, actually, like maybe like 170 or so.
Yeah, because the G2C one, even though it's that robin egg blue, you can tell it was well used because it was starting to turn, kind of black from all the
Mm-hmm.
handling.
Yeah.
It was priced at I want to say it was 260, and the PT-111 was 300.
Jesus. I mean, did they come with a bunch of extra mags or a package or something or whatever, or not? Because if nothing else,
No,
like
usually
I could.
it's.
Okay.
I didn't ask, but usually with the place I was looking at, it's standard, just one mag, whatever it comes with.
Yeah, because usually they all come with two anymore. So.
It just depends on whoever.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if it was like a thing where it was like, oh, here's like 2, 3 extra mags, a bag for everything, maybe a couple boxes of ammo thrown in there, like maybe that would be worth the price. But
No, it's a pawn shop, so it's whatever was pawned or sold with it.
yeah, I don't know then.
I just thought, damn, that's fucking that's pretty steep for those two since they're an older model.
Yeah, that's the problem with most pawn shops, though. From what I've seen locally, especially there's one around me right now. That I was looking at their prices in a case one time. I wasn't in the place, but they have an online store. You could look at the prices if you zoom in enough, and they were charging like I think it was like $4 or something like that for like a basic bitch 1911 that was worth no more than $200, and I'm just like, yeah, you're not getting that kind of money for that. And there's other
this
people
place
said to
usually
me,
has good deals. So I was
well, as other people have
surprised.
said to me, if you go in there and like say to them like, "Oh, would you take this for it?" or whatever the case be, usually they will, especially when it's cash. So, because that's what it is. Usually, they're usually marking it up because sometimes they'll have ones that'll do like down payment stuff or whatever, and people just pay it off incrementally over like 20 different $10 payments or something like that. So they're having to hold it for that whole time. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, it's just, again, it depends on the place, honestly. But yeah, this gun raffle I was talking about a couple minutes ago, though. One of the things that they have on the list that you could win there is a Mossberg Patriot and 450 Legend or 450 Bushmaster.
Sweet.
Which probably looks exactly like this, honestly, with the scope and everything. So, and I've heard 450 Bush is pretty good caliber to hunt with, especially in these straight all cartridge states like mine. We also got a Glock 48, a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, a Sig P365, Remington 700 and 308, Henry Golden Boy in 22, Taurus GX4, Springfield Hellcat, a Henry 44 Magnum.
The Henry Golden Boy 22, but I wouldn't pay honestly no more than like $200, $250 max. They want way too much for that. You're paying for the name, I get it.
Yeah.
But that pawn shop I was at today, they had an AR pistol. Had some kind of optic on it. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know
what they were going to wear for that Henry.
I don't know if it was it wasn't an EOTech, but it was kind of like a big ass optic. It wasn't a scope either. I don't know, honestly, because I didn't look at it. And it was Anderson AR pistol. Anderson Manufacturing.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers wanted $2,000 for that. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm like, what is that? Like an $1,800 scope? Or not, like a $1,500 scope or optic? Like Jesus Christ, because that thing ain't worth, or the rifle or the pistol itself isn't worth no more than $500, $400 or $500. That's just with everything going up, you know.
Have you ever heard of Great Lakes Firearms?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Yeah, one of the ones on the list here is a AR-15 from them.
Yeah, I'm not sure their quality and everything. I don't.
The barrel on this one looks nice.
Well, see, the thing is, a lot of them tend to use the same kind of fucking parts. Like that very well could be an FN barrel for all you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know if they're more like a budget-friendly company or if they're more like a higher-end type company. I haven't really looked into them too much because I don't know a whole lot about them, but I am aware of them. But I mean, it's kind of hard to fuck up an AR, you know.
Yeah.
Especially
these days.
You know, you can definitely try, and there's people that have. I'm just saying, it's hard to do these days when there's so many companies that do ARs, and there's parts galore. I mean,
yeah, and then we got a Winchester XPR 350 Legend on the list here for this gun raffle.
I like that. It's nice looking.
Yeah. Again, mostly everything on here is legally huntable in Ohio, except for that 308.
Yeah, they had a Remington 308 there too. I wanted, but they wanted like $900, which wasn't bad because it was I think Remington 700. So, and it had a decent scope on it. If you can't tell, I was at the gun shop today. I spent a couple hours there.
Yeah.
One, just looking at all the shit because they actually had a decent inventory for once, and two, I was picking something up.
We got an ATI Cavalry over under.
I hate over unders.
Yeah. I feel like this was the exact gun that David Hogg's bitch ass was using and trying to claim to be a gun guy like 6 months ago.
Probably. He probably listened to his good old buddy Joe Biden and bought a double barrel.
I think he just rented one for the day is what it was.
Probably. He's too much of a pussy to fucking be pro 2A and own firearms.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what this one gun was here. I just realized what it was now. It was that new Savage handgun. The Stance.
Oh yeah, that ugly little bastard. Kind of looks like a
Yeah,
like a little forest. Or honestly, it looks like the Keltec. What is it? The 709 Slim.
So, no, that's still Taurus.
Oh, Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's definitely very, very low round count though.
Yeah, that's definitely single stack.
It's like 7 rounds.
Yeah, I hate those little pocket pistols.
Well, the problem with that is the way that the grip is on that. It's way too small for my hand.
Same.
I could get obviously the finger on the trigger, and then it'd be like probably 2.5 on the gun, maybe.
It looks like it's about the size of the shield, and on the shield, I can only get barely 2 fingers on it.
Yeah, it's not fun. I get obviously why these exist because it's mostly for chicks and stuff like that have small hands.
Oh yeah,
and that's fine. That being said, if I wanted at a gun raffle, I would immediately be like, okay, I'm gonna take this gun and I'm gonna, do what needs to be done with that, and get myself a different weapon. Is what it'll be then.
Yep.
So the fucked up thing is actually they're talking about on this raffle too. It said you have the option of doing a cash option though, but every single cash option is only $200, and I'm like, dude, half the guns on this list are way more than that.
Yeah, that's a ripoff.
Yeah, it is.
You're gonna do cash, cash for guns. The cash should be equivalent to the firearm.
Yeah, and they're also doing a Radical Arms AR-15.
Yeah, that's used to be more of a budget-friendly gun company, but I don't really think there's a such thing as budget-friendly anymore. They all typically float around the same price.
Yep. Let me see what else is on this list here. Let's see here. Yeah, another one on this list was the a CZ shotgun. It's a semi-auto. Not bad.
Yeah, that's one thing I would love to get is a semi-auto shotgun.
Never really been a fan though of like when you got the semi-autos when it's only like 4, maybe 5 rounds at most on that.
Yeah, one I would really love to have is like a Benelli M3 or M4, and or the Mossberg. What is it? The 930, the Jerry Mitchell edition.
Well, they got that 940 now. That's like way better. It also has like the ability to put a little teeny dot in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would want, honestly.
What's up, Leo? There is no Leo, only Zool.
Okay, my internet is lagging real hard. So give me a minute.
Yeah, one of the other ones on this list is a 450 Bushmaster. Ruger American. It's not a bad gun.
Yeah, we're just talking guns, Leo. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like we haven't talked geek stuff in forever. So let's talk geek stuff.
Right.
What is the deal with Glock 47s? Are they just like a longer slide or what?
I have no idea. Like all these new fucking.
I think the Glock 47 is it's supposed to be what the Glock 19X was supposed to be.
Okay.
Instead of, a short slide with a long frame, I think that one's supposed to be a short frame, long slide. I think. Don't quote me. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Because I've only recently heard about it. Chances are.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be new for this year, right?
Or is that the 380 version, the 380 model?
I think it's 9.
Is it?
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a 9.
G47 MOS. Yeah, 9.
And of course, on this list, we had a Taurus 357, 7-shot.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Yep,
Yeah,
same
this
here.
is the kind of gun that we have to use in Ohio to do handgun hunting because it has to be 5 inches or longer.
That's what she said.
Exactly. The fucking restrictions like that is so fucking retarded.
One of my my old neighbor, his brother-in-law, we were talking about handguns one time and handgun hunting in the state of Ohio, and he was talking about using something like this one time because it was himself, his buddy, I think his dad or somebody, and then like another family member of some kind, and they had just enough long guns for 3 people, and then he had this big ass handgun, and the other guy was trying to take the shot on a deer that was like 100 yards away and missed, and he's like, well, fuck this, and like grabs out this big ass handgun and starts going all way up in the air and like off tilt and off to the side and stuff like that, and just fires around, and miraculously it just bangs straight through the deer. So
I think that's referred to as shot in the dark.
yeah, pretty much.
A Hail Mary.
But yeah, I do like a 7-shot revolver though.
So when hunting, do you have to use like full metal jacket rounds?
There's a
Or-
whole list of stuff. Let me go get the
Can you
thing
use
right now,
hollows?
and I'll pull it. I don't think so. I think they're usually like there's usually like ones that they call like hunting rounds or whatever. I think that's usually what they want you to use. So let me go check just to make sure on that one.
They using
Oh, Corey gone.
Yeah, he's completely gone now. Yeah, let me see here.
Sorry, my phone dropped and exited out of the fucking chat.
Mm-hmm. Likely story. Yeah, it usually tells you where exactly the thing is because it's like 30. I think it's 38 caliber or higher is what we have to use here. Or like diameter, like 57 basically is what they're talking about. And they've got some big deer in this state, honestly, people have caught over the years. Some big old racks.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish I could do right now is go bag me a deer or two and maybe a couple of hogs just to stuff the freezer. I haven't been hunting in so fucking long.
And of course, you just got the does all frolicking around. Little Bucky. Actually, there was one time I saw it was like 2 does about this big, and then there was like a big old mama with them, I think is what it was. And it was right outside the house there. Right behind me, looked out this window, and it was fucking just sitting there. I'm like, oh, you bastards. Because they knew what they were doing. It was like right before dawn, where I could actually hunt them legally. And yeah, it was just not fun.
Oh, you could have got them and just said it was a few minutes after the start.
Yeah, let's see. And of course, we got chronic wasting disease going on in a couple of counties here right now.
Nice.
That sucks. But yeah, they've upped the limit here a couple times of what you can get in what county now. So
Has World War III started yet?
I don't think so.
No, still waiting. I would not. Just as long as it happens after I get my tooth pulled next Thursday.
Right.
Then it can happen, right? If not, then I'm going to have to pull the tooth myself. And I don't want to do that.
I hear you. That's gonna fucking suck.
Yep. I'm going to need some heroin just to numb the pain. I won't feel a thing after that.
You'll do it and then you forget you did it to pull your tooth.
Right. Mouth all bloody. Like, what was I doing again?
Shit, I pulled the wrong tooth.
Right.
Damn it, I pulled 3.
Okay, I found the thing here. Yeah, for shotgun, it has to be 10 gauge or smaller. And then for straight wall cartridges, for rifles, it's straight wall cartridge rifle, calibers 357, to 50 cal. So,
Damn.
yeah. And then handgun 5-inch or longer, using straight wall cartridge 37 caliber or larger. So, yeah. Which is so stupid to me that we can't use neck cartridges in this state.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I don't get it.
Well, it's retarded because this is only for white-tailed deer that you have to use straight walled for. I can literally go take a coyote, a wild boar, or any other big game in this state with a 5.56.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
And then these are the 3 counties now that have chronic wasting disease in them so far, which are all in the corner of the state. Well, not corner of the state. They're about halfway down, and then off to the side is what it is there. So, thankfully, they're not anywhere near me anyway. But with the way it's going, they're probably going to spread out to other counties in this state, though, which is not good. But is what it is.
Wouldn't life be easier if we were able to eat other humans?
I mean, you'd have free range. You'd have vegans being free range at that point, then.
Yep. That way you won't starve without getting the human version of mad cow disease.
I did not realize that Smith & Wesson apparently is making a 350 Legend handgun now. That's pretty cool.
It's probably too expensive for my taste.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say price on it, so
Right.
I just don't think it does anyway.
That's why we get into the tourist
yeah,
range.
it does. It does. The MSRP is like $1,600.
Yeah. That's like when we get in the tourist range, now you're talking my language. Except when you get up to the big boy calibers. Even then, it's still cheaper than Smith & Wesson or Ruger.
Yeah, this is where you get the Taurus Raging Hunter in 460 or 500 mag. Which you cannot honestly tell me with that bottom rail that somebody's not going to make an AOW out of this fucking gun.
Mm-hmm.
Just have like a big old knob down there, like near the handle.
Yep.
Although to be fair, I'm pretty sure that's on there to use the I forget what they're called. It's like a stick thing to put it on or whatever to like level it out.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how most people do handgun hunting anyway. They just like sit there in one spot with like a rest of some kind or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a nice looking gun, but like honestly, I wouldn't pay the crazy amount for it though. Actually, it looks kind of weird when you look at it from this perspective because it almost looks like they had like the barrel length. They just added like a barrel length to it, like right there at the muzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's about the same price, give or take. What is this one? SIG. It's a 10 mil for the SIG. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so as the title suggests for tonight, how do you self-defend?
With these hands.
very carefully.
Right. I thought you was going to add more to that.
I
No.
thought so too.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna go check, see if anything really did happen yesterday for all the crazy shit there.
Oh, you're talking about overseas across the pond?
Yeah. I know there was at least one person that was killed by some crazy motherfucker in like France or something.
Yeah.
I think
wanna say
in
it was
China-
U.S. intelligence warned of potential violence days before Hamas attack. Israel warns a new phase in the war with Hamas. Gaza citizens flee. Yeah, Hamas day of rage puts Israel police around the world on alert. Let's see anything else right there. Let's see. Day 8
You know
of
what?
Israel Hamas war.
And I didn't even carry at all during that day of rage. And I went all over the city doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't even carry at all.
I haven't left this house unarmed since 2020. And thankfully I was armed that one day when the house was broken into, because they might have got that gun too if I hadn't been.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the last time I left the house unarmed.
Although I did make a mistake that day when I was coming to do a sweep, because I should have crept her, because the way that the door is over here, I should have crept around this way and into the dining room there. And I didn't do that. And if there had been somebody there, they could have definitely sniped my ass out.
Sometimes I walk around unharmed because I still have these hands. They're
Right.
the deadliest thing I got.
Yeah. I wish I could say the same. My shit's getting pretty crippled these days. So
Just do a karate chop.
Yeah, there you go. Or something, Chuck Norris.
Right to the throat.
Oh yeah, never underestimate a good old fashioned throat punch.
Right. Now, if they're fat and no neck, then best thing to do is just run because they won't catch you.
So there was some interesting. I found a subreddit here a couple weeks ago called I think it's History What If or something like that. Yeah, here it is. And they do a bunch of alternate theories on various topics of various wars and what have you here. That people put up there. You got what if the Romans never bothered with Britannia was a new one. Then we got what if anti-imperialism had emerged in Japan during the period from 1910 onwards. What if a second Korean War occurred in 1968? That was an interesting one. What if after World War II, United States officially pursued a foreign doctrine of do the right thing?
The fuck does that mean?
I have no idea. This one I thought was pretty interesting, though, that I saw in here a couple of days ago, and it was talking about Pol Pot. And it was what if Pol Pot had actually been in charge of China instead of Cambodia? Like how differently things would be. Let's see if I can find it real quick here.
What if Al Gore was president?
Yeah, what if Pol Pot ruled China instead of Cambodia? I mean, the thing is, I think he'd still be a dictator, honestly. I mean, he mass murdered a shitload of people, so. I mean, the only difference is he wouldn't have the Khmer Rouge. He would just have some other, Chinese army then if that'd be the case. It'd be like saying, what if Mao Zedong rolled Cambodia instead of China, honestly? It's like they'd still be a dictator, man.
Yeah, exactly. People still gonna die a lot.
Yeah, it'd be like, what if Stalin and Hitler changed places? Like they'd still be dictators. But yeah, it said, as it said here, it said Pol Pot was the worst ruler in the world history, having few accomplishments and having many mistakes. However, Pol Pot ruled any insufficient country instead of a sufficient one. Said Mao, who was better than Pol Pot, as he managed to unify China, conquer more lands for China, industrialize China, double China's population, and many other things, while China didn't end up as rich as other Asian countries due to communism. China was successful communist power. What if Pol Pot had rolled China instead of Cambodia? How would how would history change? Again, not much, I think. It would be very much similar to what it is now. Like, the only real difference is that you wouldn't have had Mao's crazy ass and power to do what he did, which was obviously when they scorched the fields and stuff like that, went scorched earth. He then had a bunch of people go out there and snipe all the birds out, and they were carrying off seeds at the time to go, harvest again, basically what it would be in the future. And because he did that, that's what actually caused mass starvation again, even more levels. So I feel like it would be not quite as significant as that, but it would still be terrible, though. So,
I don't know. Then you gotta look at the different culture and how people work within the different countries.
Yeah.
Right. It probably won't be as the same, period.
There's one here I was trying to find, but I can't seem to find it now.
So what did y'all carry today?
I didn't go out today, but I carried stuff around the house, so just my usual.
I went out. I carry what I normally carry, my G21.
Actually, this one was a pretty interesting what-if scenario here. What if Bill Clinton ordered an airstrike that killed bin Laden in 1998?
Or there in 93 when they first bombed the trade centers.
Well, I would say, honestly, it wouldn't really change much because we all know that Saudi Arabia was the ones really behind 9/11.
Yeah. And, sorry.
Right. It'd have been another oil billionaire to fund some type of attack. It could have been the same attack.
Yeah.
Like chop the head off of a snake is another snake to replace it. So
have you ever heard the theory that they didn't go over there for the oil, that went over there because someone had found a Nephilim and killed them? So we went over there to recover the remains. They found a Nephilim in a cave somewhere, and it killed a whole bunch of people, but they were able to finally kill it.
Yeah, I heard about that. Supposedly a giant within the rocks. A giant within the mountain killed a couple of soldiers before they killed it.
Since we're on that topic, what if Islam existed in the Roman Empire?
They'd have been slaughtered. Genocide.
Yeah, it said Roman Empire stays united, conquers Aziz, and somehow survives. Muhammad is still born and still creates Islam. How could it look like? Yeah, I mean, it would just be a fucking shit show anyway. It's just like how we talk about, it's like, what if we actually had enough knights back in the day to actually deal with Islam back in the 12th and 13th centuries during the Real Crusades? Unfortunately, we didn't, and that's why there's resistance then.
But then again, right, it was also in Europe because they were just fractured anyway. Right, it was doomed from the start from what they were saying. God damn it.
What if Mussolini had stayed neutral during World War II?
That'd have been interesting.
That's one of the ones somebody was asking on here. Let's see what it says. Said Mussolini saved Western civilization. His complete and fatal incompetence single-handedly destroyed likelihood of Axis victory in World War II. There was nothing inevitable about the Deuce's decision to fight along Hitler. Said Fuhrer proposed his invasion of Poland from August 26, September 1st, 1939. In the vain attempt to persuade Italy to fight, but Mussolini decided to opt out of the first 9 months of Hitler's war. Germany fought alone against Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Holland, and France until June 10th of 1940. Day the French government evacuated Paris. When Mussolini belatedly declared war on the Allies. So then Mussolini invaded Greece and Egypt, disasters, both of them, causing Hitler to delay his invasion of the USSR for 5 weeks and send a tenth of his panzers to Africa. 1940, the Nazis crushed France by deploying all 10 of their panzer divisions in a successful right hook around the Margara line. Said next year they more than doubled their panzer force to 21 divisions, but could deploy only 17, 81% against Russia. So after the Balkan campaign, necessitated by Mussolini, the 2nd and 5th divisions along the earliest and strongest panzer formations were sent to refit in France. So 2 other panzer divisions were deployed to Africa because of Mussolini's Egypt debacle. So in other words, Mussolini not only cost Hitler 5 weeks delay, the critical 5 weeks he later needed before the 1941 winter, he also cost Hitler 4 panzer divisions and a commander who probably would have commanded a panzer army in Russia. As it was, Nazis had 4, not 5, panzer armies in the Soviet campaign. August 3rd, Hitler decided to halt his advance on Moscow in order to divert Gardenians' panzers south towards Kiev. So the panzer armies wouldn't resume their march on Moscow until October. So if Rommel had been available to surround Kiev, the other guy could have continued his advance to Moscow and would likely have been in Red Square by late September if the invasion had begun on time instead of being delayed by Mussolini's Balkan circus. Hitler's armies almost certainly overrun Moscow by mid-July. So basically, if Mussolini had kept out, it would have been better, probably.
Yeah.
So
That's one
I don't
that
know.
I often think about, how things would be if Germany actually won the war and not us.
Yeah. I was
'Cause,
watching.
Technically, we were outgunned. I mean, they had better weaponry and everything, and there were several things Hitler could have done that he didn't do, and then, we ended up kicking their ass. But what would life look like if they would have won?
I've been watching 2 shows lately. The first one is World on Fire. It has 2 seasons to it, and it's basically about people within the whole beginning of the German occupation and the war and stuff like that versus Poland and everybody else like that. And the other one is I finally started watching Man in the High Castle, and obviously that's the alternate history of Germany had one, and then you had Japan take the other half of America. So it's basically cut down the middle. And then there's places like, I think it's Colorado is like a free state or something like that.
Yeah.
So, which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the Japanese stuff that's in that is boring as fuck. And I decided to just watch like the main storyline of like these people that are in this town and whatnot. And it's a much better series overall with just that piece of it. And you could also get through episodes like half the time then.
I'm about to check into that. Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
I'm about to look for that.
Yeah, it's basically if you had their sides win, you would have had Germany take over. It's like all the East Coast and like right to the middle area of the country, and then it was Japan would have taken the West Coast, like all the way to like the Rocky Mountains or something. And there's like this little stretch like in between that, like Texas and Colorado, a couple other states that are like neutral or whatever. Then
Yeah, I feel like Texas would have been neutral because we're the second largest
So-
state in America. That's until I'd say number one, but that's until Alaska thaws out. But
Yeah.
yeah, Texas ain't be trifled with. At least we used to be. I mean, we got a lot of fucking liberals and leftists moving into our state trying to fuck it up.
What if the Ottoman Empire didn't disintegrate at the end of World War One? Says, would that have led to no British mandate in Palestine and further no state country of Israel currently? Yeah, of course they're going to go anti-Israel on that one. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Shit would look a lot different. That's for
Yeah,
damn sure.
one here was talking about what if Israel lost the Yom Kippur War. I don't know. Things would have been interesting on that one too. And they're talking about what if China invaded Taiwan. It's like that could still happen, bro. That could still happen.
Oh yeah, it's likely to happen very soon.
This one's actually pretty interesting. I'm going to talk about this because I thought it was a really good one here. What if the United States had a constitutional monarchy? So that said that George Washington was offered the chance to become King of America, but turned it down. Opportunity because he didn't believe in having a monarchy in America. But what if he had accepted the crown? This person said, I believe the only way the American people would accept a monarchy is if the monarch was either a figurehead with no real power or had very limited powers. But even in that case, the presence of a monarch in America would have had a huge influence on American culture and politics. What would American history have looked like if the country had a constitutional monarchy?
I don't know.
Be very different, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I assume we still have I assume our constitution will still be functioning at this point, honestly, if it was constitutional monarchy. So,
but who's to say that someone like Clinton or Obama or Biden wouldn't have, still snuck in and
yeah,
radically
probably.
changed everything to the worse?
Yeah, very true, very true.
I mean, they've done that now. Look how bad shit's gotten under their tyrannical regime.
Actually, going back to what people were trying to sneak shit in there about Israel, Palestine, everything else like that. This was a pretty good one. What if America supported Palestine post 1948 instead of Israel? It's like, well, I don't think they would have. Number one, if they did, that'd be kind of, it's whatever. But who the hell knows? Huh. I think Billy the Kid season 2 might be streaming now. That's cool. I'll have to watch that later.
There's a lot of shit that's out that I haven't seen.
That's a good show, actually. There's a lot of people that didn't give it a chance, honestly, and it's pretty good, actually. The first season is basically it goes through like his life between the time he was like 8 or 9 years old to the time he was like in his early teens is what it was there. And then it basically ends right before the Lincoln County War, and that's where season 2 is going to pick up as Lincoln County War then.
Huh.
Which is obviously one of the 20-something times in U.S. history we had an insurrection act being declared in this country. So, yeah, should be fun. That being said, I assume it'll only be like maybe 2 seasons, if not like 3 seasons at most, because he would die not long after that is what it was then.
Right.
So, or at least supposedly he died. There's talk of him actually living past that and going under assumed names and shit. So, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, kind of like have you heard the theory that Jimi Hendrix didn't die? He just became Morgan Freeman.
No, I did not hear that theory. It's weird.
Yeah, because Jimi Hendrix died in what, 70?
I don't know. I think he was one of the 27 Club or something.
Yeah, I think he was in 70 or 71. And then Morgan Freeman got his start in, I think, 71. So, yeah, I think Hendrix died in 70, and then Morgan Freeman got his start in 71.
Yeah, September 18th, 70.
Yeah. And if you look at like side by sides, because what I saw, they did, but several side by sides, and there's a striking resemblance. So, what do you
Yeah,
think, Leo?
maybe.
Again, there's no Leo, only Zool.
I mean, to be fair, like if you look at the actual pictures they have here, it was. Let's see. Yeah, they're clearly two different guys.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I can see a little bit of like eyebrow.
And the nose.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman looked old in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Have you heard
mustaches
that,
look
Leo?
slightly different, though, is what it is.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
So-
Jimi Hendrix is actually Morgan Freeman, or Morgan Freeman is actually Jimi Hendrix.
Well, it's just like
Yeah.
Alex Jones being Bill Allen or whoever that guy was.
Bill Hicks, the
Yeah,
comedian.
Bill Hicks, that's right.
Yeah.
This one I thought was pretty interesting, though. What if the United States didn't have any help from the Middle Eastern countries while invading Iraq and Afghanistan? I mean, they really didn't, man. You had blue on green all the fucking time over there.
Yeah.
Like, literally every day you'd have blue on green attacks. Or blue was them and green was us. Or was that vice versa? I can't remember. Whatever. It's the same difference. It was them attacking us all the time.
Wait, what's blue and green?
There's a thing. It's military jargon. It's like I forget it which country it is considered like blue or whatever, and then the other one's considered green. That's like the Allies helping them or something. And yeah, there was always attacks over there in the Middle East where it was Iraqis and different Middle Eastern dudes attacking American soldiers all the time at bases and shit over there.
Oh yeah.
So
Mortar
I want to see they
fire.
called them blue on green attacks or something like that. They talk about it in a lot of movies too, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to stuff.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! This is actually I gotta talk about this one just because. 2004, Howard Dean, who yad himself right out of the presidency, upsets John Kerry and John Edwards in the Iowa Democrat caucus. His OTL post-Iowa speech never happened, so he never does the yeah, and is replaced by a shorter one where he thanks his staff, volunteers, and supporters. He goes on to
Right.
win North Carolina and South Carolina after Edwards drops out. Yeah, I don't know. That guy was a nutcase in general. He still is, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure that whole speech he gave after that was all him being high as fuck on cocaine or something like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any other good ones here. Oh, this is kind of relevant to what we're talking about tonight, actually. What if firearms were never invented? How would wars be fought today? So the firearm as we know it was never invented. We still have projectile weapons, but warfare as we know it is preliminary fought hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, we'd still be using swords and shields and spears and.
Well, I feel like somebody would have created something that would have been the equivalent of a gun at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a harmonica gun, but it was like a big ass fucking like turret thing or something.
Or
Yeah.
just like the automatic crossbows. It'd be something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I was thinking about what that one thing was at the end of The Walking Dead. I forget what they call it. It's like a Hayalucha or something like that, where it just fired all those rockets out of it and shit.
Yep.
And they would just have those everywhere. Is what it'd be then. So, yeah, there would definitely be things created because that thing is like, in order to say firearms never being invented and stuff, you would have to go back all the way to China. I think it was China, who was the ones that originally created
Yeah.
gunpowder to begin with, and they used like bamboo shoots to shoot it out of, is what it was.
Yep.
So
One
Yeah,
thing
you
The
basically have to
Walking
take that
Dead
as
should have
history
had that they didn't is I feel that The Walking Dead should have had some technicals.
What do you mean by that?
Technicals, like 50 cal technicals, like
Okay. Yeah, I mean I think the issue with a lot of that series was it was budget stuff.
yeah.
Because in reality, like honestly, I don't care who you are. You're sitting there around the fucking CDC and stuff like that as you're dipping out or whatever, or even going towards it or whatever. You mean to tell me you're not going to go over and grab an M16 and start firing off?
Yeah, no, that was one thing that pissed me off. If they got to the CDC, but there had to been a shit ton of fucking armaments and grenades and whatnot just lying around with all the dead soldiers.
It's like the same thing when Rick's leaving the hospital in a fucking gown and stuff. Still, it's like, really, dude, like you're not going to go, I don't know, find some fucking clothes and then if nothing else, like put on some dead soldiers' pants and shit like that,
Yeah.
and then grab like his gear is what it would be then. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
a lot of
definitely
that.
stuff like that just bothers the shit out of me in that series.
Yeah, what very realistic.
And it makes sense because then eventually you have to go to a whole point of it being a situation of armory. The armorer for the show and stuff like that would have had to get all the clearances for full auto and whatnot then.
Yeah.
But you know what? But when thinking about it, it kind of makes sense that you're probably not even thinking about trying to take someone's clothes when you're running away from zombies.
Yeah,
you're just
Right.
thinking that you're right. You just got a one-track mind of I have to run away. I have to get out of here. I have to get out of here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that one guy that was in the army, he fucking took his tank after the collapse.
Yeah.
So he's driving
Like-
around during the zombie apocalypse with a fucking tank.
Yeah,
That's true,
that
but
then
he
gets
still all have his cognitive function. Like, but he didn't just wake up from a coma in the hospital
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, wait, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, I would have been the same way as Rick was, waking up from a coma and, there's dead bodies everywhere, zombie looking creatures. But even if I didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on, because obviously in all these movies, they never know what a zombie is. There's no like zombie lore. So, I'm sorry if I saw a bunch of dead bodies everywhere, dead bodies underneath sheets just lined up in the fucking parking lot. My ass is gonna find the fucking gun really quick before I do anything else. Just because I know some bad shit just went down and life as we know it isn't the same. So I'm getting
Right.
armed.
Yeah. The first thing I'll be looking for is a gun, but I don't know about clothes.
Yeah.
But, or some type of weapon.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, Louisiana is officially a constitutional carry state as of 2024. Shocker in
No
Louisiana, Republican governor Jeff Landry smokes Democrat opponent to flip governor's mansion without runoff.
Oh, I thought you were saying that they already did it. But
No, I'm saying with Landry in there, 100% it's going to be a constitutional carry state next year.
Good. That would make what, 30?
Might be 31 now. I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up real quick.
Yay for everybody else.
We're Leo.
Well, here's the thing, Leo. Eventually,
Chirac.
we're going to force Illinois to bow and knuckle under. So
As well as California
it's
and,
just
and
going
New
to
York.
take a little while right now.
But just like with anything, Illinois is always the last holdout.
Yeah.
Just like Illinois was the last state to pass a concealed carry, some type of concealed carry.
Do you think, Leo, if California or New York or both went constitutional carry, do you think Chicago would be right behind them? Because they
Nope.
kind of all feed off of each other.
No, because Illinois will always try to be the last holdout of anything. So even though it might eventually fold over, but they would try to be the last holdout.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Because of good old Chirac.
Right. Because at least California, y'all still, I mean, they're still able to have some type of AR-15, even if it's one of those weird ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 27 right now.
At
So it'd
28?
be 28, yeah.
Leo's like, AR-15, what is that? I've never seen one before.
Basically.
Yeah,
To be
'cause
honest,
Nebraska
I
was the
never
one that came
held
in
one
most
before.
recently.
Oh, you've never held one?
No, I never held one before, let alone shot one.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's so
this is the
crazy.
current constitutional carry state map right here. All the green ones are constitutional carry states.
That's so crazy to think, because it's not like you live out of country or anything. You're in America.
I mean, I could have asked, when I was at the gun shop, hey, can I see one of the ARs?
So yeah, that'd be 28, 29, 30. Potentially
Hopefully y'all didn't hear
31.
that.
No.
Well, you farted.
No, all of a sudden, randomly, YouTube started playing a fucking video.
Oh.
If we can get rid of Whitmer finally, 32 would be Michigan then.
You said green is constitutional carry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, you'd have Louisiana drop in there. South and North Carolina. Virginia would be 31 potentially.
But isn't Florida like a hybrid constitutional carry?
If we can get rid of Democrats in Michigan, that'd be 32. Wisconsin would be 33 on that same thing. Same thing with Minnesota would be 34.
South Carolina was supposed to have it.
Nevada would be maybe 35.
Minnesota's not going anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
Right,
well, you'd have to
Michigan.
kick out a lot of Islam to begin with on that one. To get
Michigan, maybe. There's a possibility with Michigan.
Yeah.
But
And then fucking it was some Biden appointee judge is the one that ruled New Mexico's BS constitutional carry ban is actually legal or whatever now, which is absolute bullshit entirely.
Yeah. But the West Coast ain't gonna do shit. California, Oregon, and Washington State.
I mean, when you look at it, it's basically all the blue states, damn near.
Yep.
Hold out. Yeah.
But yeah, what was said here about Louisiana, though, it says Republican Jeff Landry, who I believe was either Secretary of State or AG before this, won a landslide election on Saturday to flip Louisiana governor's mansion red in one of three main gubernatorial elections this year, shocking political observers with a victory that saves him the trouble of having to face a Democrat in the November runoff. Says Landry defeated Democrat Sean Wilson and the rest of the field in Louisiana's gubernatorial election, winning about 52% of the vote. In Louisiana, governor elections are first open to a full field of all candidates from either party. So basically, jungle primary is what it sounds like on that one. It was known as a jungle primary. Then the top two vote getters generally advance to a runoff a month later, but if a candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, as Landry did here, they can win outright on jungle primary day. That's fucking awesome then.
Hell yeah. So that means
many were expecting Landry, the clear and convincing frontrunner who has been the Attorney General of Louisiana for many years after a stint in Congress, to easily advance to the runoff to face Wilson in November, but his overwhelmingly strong performance on Saturday put him above majority support, as the Associated Press called the race with him easily north of 50% mark, meaning Landry will be the next governor of Louisiana come at the end of the year. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So, and I know for a fact they talked to him about supporting the Second Amendment. And he does. So
we'll see.
Hopefully
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be pro to a constitutional governor at any rate. There's what it is.
Yeah, because Louisiana should have had it.
Well,
Corey went underwater.
Yeah. The real reason that they got fucked over a couple of times now is there's a lot of rhinos in their General Assembly that decided they wanted money instead of actually doing the right thing for the people there in that state.
Of course.
And hopefully they'll meet primaries is what it is here then.
What'd you say, Leo? I went underwater.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sounded like muffled out or something. Then we got good old squad dipshit Jameel Bowman. Claims U.S. should welcome Palestinian refugees. Yeah, why don't you welcome rent your own house there, Bowman? You fucking douchebag.
Wow.
And we'll start
And
with you, buddy.
Isn't he the same one that pulled the fire alarm?
Yes, he was also the same asshole who got in Tom Massey's face about 6 months ago and was fucking freaking out, being all like, students shouldn't have armed teachers in their schools. I was a principal for like 20 years. And that's why I don't know what the fucking fire alarm is.
Right.
Right.
Did y'all watch the hearing votes and stuff when we ousted McCarthy from Speaker of the House?
I think I
Nah,
saw
I
like a
didn't hear
snippet. I didn't really see the whole thing though.
There was someone when they were saying yay or nay that hollered out and said someone needs to pull a fire alarm.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I watched it as it happened. That shit was fucking. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here comes the fuckery. But it didn't happen. They just can't help themselves with fortification.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There is currently an active shooter at the Texas State Fair as of a couple hours ago.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the after chat. Honda brought it up.
Yeah, and they're showing people on a Ferris wheel, and there's people just running everywhere.
Which is crazy because, you know, it's Texas, and where the Texas State Fair is, you know, I'm sure at least half the people they were probably carrying.
Can you legally carry into the fairgrounds or not?
I don't know.
Because I can't hear legally. That's the one thing that pissed me off. Well, not actually, no, it's both state fair and county fair for that matter. You're not legally allowed to carry in. But then again, we do have a shitload of county sheriffs and stuff like that everywhere. So that was the one thing that was actually why that idiot Thomas West got ousted from our General Assembly last year, is because it was his district where the Stark County Fairgrounds are. And it's been every year except for 2020 when they didn't really have one, that there's been fighting at those fairgrounds. And it's all these kids from his district that come in there and start shit is what it is. And they would go in there and fight each other. You'd have like 10, 12-year-olds pulling guns on each other and shit like that. And eventually it got so bad in 2022, you had to have pretty much every cop in multiple counties and multiple police departments, or not multiple counties, all over this county and multiple police departments be called out there to basically keep things under wraps and stuff like that. And like the entirety of the sheriff's department had to be called into. Like anybody that was off duty, they were like, dude, get over here now. Help us out with crowd control and shit. And yeah, it got so bad you had like, I think it said 60 or 70 kids brawling last year to where they almost knocked over one of the rides that people were on at the time. So yeah, it was bad shit for sure. And yeah. It's crazy stuff here. Let's see what else we got here. Chicago this weekend. Cities have turned into lawless hellholes. People just breaking cars and shit. Can't show that though, because it's gonna definitely be a channel strike if I do.
So I just looked it up, and yeah, you're right. It says no weapons of any kind are permitted on fairgrounds.
Which I don't understand how they could even enforce that, because you don't have metal detectors at the fucking gates and shit. Because you have constitutional carry now. Like, there's no way that can be legally enforced. Because you're actively stopping people from defending themselves versus criminal element there is what it is.
Yeah, they said that they reserve the right to search you and search your bags.
Yeah, that's not right.
So I guess no one was armed then. Huh. Which is stupid because obviously that right there proves the point of why it's important to carry. And if you don't allow, you know, firearms on your premises, all you're doing is making yourself a fucking target.
Yeah, exactly. You're just creating a soft spot for criminals to invade.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got pro-Palestine protesters demand that pro-Taliban protesters leave in some part of Canada. Aren't they all the same, though? I mean, technically speaking.
Yeah. Well, you ain't gonna have any rights or freedoms or have anything that should be done the right way happen in Canada. That's a fucking crooked country. You see, they came out not too long ago trying to dispel the fact that Trudeau isn't Castro's son,
Yeah.
but yet he won't take a DNA test.
Yep. Yeah, and it would be simply solved. It's like, just take a DNA test, bro. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think, Leo? Do you think that's Fidel Castro's son?
Yes. Okay, yes.
Speaking of the crazy shit in Colorado, treasurer of Colorado's teachers union shows off the Safe Space badge, which he got from staff and teachers. Badge is given to teachers by the National Education Association and provides resources for anal sex, bondage, fisting, and all kinds of extremely graphic sexual content.
That's fucking disgusting. It's also hypocritical because they allow that shit, but yet all these parents that are going to these hearings and stuff, school board hearings, are getting kicked out because they're reading the same shit from these books that they allow in the student library
Mm-hmm.
because it's too vulgar to talk in front of adults about. But yet they're comfortable and okay with the children reading that shit.
Yeah. And then, of course, they'll call Moms for Liberty a bunch of domestic terrorists, et cetera, et cetera. And just do all kinds of stupid shit like that. And it's just so ridiculous. What's funny, actually, and this is one thing that the left did here in Ohio, there's a bunch of school board races happening here in November. And they're like, oh, look at all these extremist right-wing people. Here's a list of them and who they're supported by. Like, half of them are like Moms for Liberty people and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, so you want me to vote for these people now? Cool, thanks. Nice to know.
Right?
And it's funny, too, because they were, like, talking about, like, because they got, like, extremist notes on the Google Doc thing or whatever that I was looking at the other day. And it's like, oh, yeah, supports getting rid of CRT in schools. And it's like, okay, good. We should.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just bunch of stupid motherfuckers, what it is in general. Then you got cops slapped in the face and kicked to the ground by a bunch of gang members in Philadelphia today.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Sounds about right. Is anything even surprising anymore? Really?
Nah.
Not really. Although I was a little surprised to see that Hamas actually used fucking paragliders and stole this thing straight out of fucking Red Dawn. That kind of surprised me. I didn't think they were advanced enough to know what that stuff was.
Well, it was probably some of the shit that was left over in Afghanistan's withdrawal.
Why would we have that kind of stuff when we have better equipment? That looks like some shit you found at a pawn shop or
maybe they just remade something else out of it. If that be the case, I don't know.
Maybe
some makeshift shit or something like that.
I mean, the parachutes they could have easily gotten from us because we left all kinds of fucking shit behind. It was like fucking Christmas for them.
Yep.
After we pulled out.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has a brief moment of clarity as he shreds New Yorkers for celebrating Palestine while Jews are murdered in Israel. Quote, we are not all right when right here in the city of New York you had those who celebrate the same time. Celebrate at the same time. When the devastation is taking place in New York, we have the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. This is a place that our voices must raise throughout the entire country. But yeah, he also wants to be a sanctuary city. So there is that.
Right. We're Sanctuary City. Don't send any illegals here.
Did you guys see the infrared of AOC ripping one?
Yeah, I
No.
saw that.
No.
That shit is funny as fuck. So she was talking about some bullshit. I don't know exactly what she was saying some stupid shit about something with like supporting something or whatever.
Did she have the
Yeah.
infrared
And
filter
then you
on?
could just see, yeah, they did infrared. You could just see like the big ass like fart cloud coming out from behind her.
That's fucking hilarious.
And I would still love to be that seat.
Actually, there was a good one somebody came up with the other day. It was a like Netflix special thing or whatever starring her, and it was some dude saying some stuff about like her being starting out as a bartender or whatever the case be, and then be like this jackass in Congress.
I was
now.
just thinking the same thing. Bartender to jackass.
Yeah, like it was just funny. And it was talking about her basically being a commie and everything else like that, dude. So
I think it's more bartender from bartender to hey you guys.
yeah. But yeah, this was what Bowman and all these other fucking retard progressives were bitching about, was calling for America. Yeah, calls for America to take in some of the expected 1 million Gaza refugees. It's like, nah, dude, we're full of already. Go fuck yourself. You can send them all to Saudi Arabia and wherever the fuck else they're in the Middle East. Oh, Jesus. Then we got, speaking of the sheep being eaten by wolves, you got LGBTQ stands with Palestine sign being held up at one of these marches here. It's like, good Lord, man.
Is they even? It's just like, why do they even do it? I mean,
I don't know.
They know what happens if they was over there and out.
Do they though? Some of them, I
Yeah.
don't think.
No, they know.
Because what they're saying is basically equivalent to chickens for KFC.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or sheep saying we support wolves.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's an interesting one. This is the somebody did a thing for Europe here. This is most common foreign nationality prisons in Europe. And it's all Middle Eastern places.
Jesus.
I mean, it makes sense. I was watching a series a couple of weeks ago, actually. It was called Screw. And it's basically about cops in some prison over there or whatever. And it was showing like all the different dudes that were in there, and it was like almost all of them were like foreign nationals. So
Sounds about right.
let's see what this chick is holding up.
Say goodbye to Europe.
Oh, Jesus. There was one of these dumb bitches at one of these protests here in America at UNC Chapel Hill, claiming we are all Hamas. A student shouted at pro-Palestine protest at that college. It's like, nah, bitch, you probably are all Hamas, and that's why you need to be kicked out of this country, honestly.
Right. I still find it hilarious that bitch in New York got busted with a gun, carrying a gun.
Oh, yeah. It was actually a state rep, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
Which you would think she would know, given the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
she was in power like that.
Just when you think we were all done with the Middle East, like we don't have to talk about the countries no more. We don't have to give a shit about it. And
Yeah.
then this happens.
on purpose.
And a
I'm sorry. I
piece of
didn't say
good
that.
news. This happened a couple of years ago, but it's still making the rounds again now. There was this kid named Davin Johnson who saved a classmate from choking and a woman from a fire on the same day.
Damn.
Damn, go kid.
He was 11 at the time. This happened 2 years ago, I believe I'm not mistaken. So he's 13 now.
Good on you, son.
So hopefully he'll continue to do good things in his life.
Yeah.
Or a complete asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You know, like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
like, exactly. Like, yeah, when he started going to the bars, you know, he had the same, he had the same line. Did you know I helped save the kid from choking and save the woman from a fire? Always be his opening line.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As he's robbing the convenience store.
At a mostly peaceful
Now, I wouldn't
protest.
say all that now.
I'm just making a joke.
I wouldn't say all that.
Let's see. You got clashes in Belgium between pro-Hamas Muslims and the cops. Let's see here.
Okay, again, yeah, not surprising.
Right.
This one's actually kind of funny. We got quote unquote trans woman left humiliated after bank froze her account because she sounded like a man on the phone. I remember that story that happened like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
She's like, "It's ma'am."
I remember one time when I used to
It's
work
like
the
Starry
register.
Steele.
Right. I remember one time when I used to be on the cash register. At a certain point, if you're using credit, you have to show your ID once you reach over a certain dollar value. So a trans woman came in, and I had to ask for her ID. And you know, it's the old picture of when he was a man. So do I deny it because I'm because I'm believing that this is a woman now, and I see a man on her ID.
Mm-hmm.
So should I be like, no, this isn't you, and just deny it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have. Quick, fast, and hurry. Like,
right.
these
Like, hey,
two
this
don't.
is a right. Like, hey, this is a man. You're obviously a woman.
Did y'all see that BLM is now 4-0 versus the left?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
There was a dude who was doing door knocking, and I think it was part of Philadelphia or something, or some other place. And
He was
Pennsylvania
pretending
there.
to be maintenance.
And some kid who was 15 shot him in the face.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he was going around like a petition or something, or getting signatures or something like that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
What I was talking about is I saw it was this Mexican guy pretending to be maintenance, knocking on this guy's door, trying to get him to open the door, and then he starts trying to kick the door in, and you see him with the gun, and then another guy, black guy, comes to in view of the camera, and he starts kicking the door in. And
sorry, it wasn't Pennsylvania, it was Lansing, Michigan. That's where it was at.
The homeowner just fucking opens fire through the door.
Oh yeah, through the door. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. I don't know if he hit either one of them, but he fucking lit that hallway up. I'm sure rounds fell into the apartment across the way.
With death of Democrat official in Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, 63-year-old Lansing man who was shot and killed while canvassing Sunday afternoon. So victim has been identified as Theodore Ted Lawson, who had found around 3 p.m. lying on the sidewalk with a gunshot wound. Said he was transported to a nearby hospital where he died from his injuries. Said Lawson serves as secretary of the Ingham County Democrat Party. Was canvassing when he was killed, according to Congressman Alyssa Slotkin, who was a fucking scumbag cunt. I hate that woman so fucking much. She was either FBI or CIA before she got into Congress.
But it's a Democrat. That's kind of ironic, you know.
She's also super anti-gunner. She's also backed by Bloomberg's dark money, etc.
Yeah.
So,
And
but yeah,
her
when they
guy
found the
gets
kid.
killed by a gun.
Uh-huh.
The irony,
Yep.
I swear.
Yeah, it is ironic. So, but yeah, then we got Democrat leaders remember this guy a couple days ago.
You think that would make them pro 2A after that point, but no, they're going to double down.
No, they're gonna go even more anti-gun and be like, "Oh, all you law-abiding citizens should totally not be armed now. This is why we need to have red flag laws and everything else like that. Don't fucking work.
You
They
know?
never will." Oh God, I'm just over all of it, honestly. When does Civil War begin again? What is it? 6 months from now? 4 months from now?
Any day.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised by it anymore.
But I'm saying next year. Starting in January, you're going to see it.
Yeah, I said it was either going to be this end of this year or beginning of next. If it's going to happen, I think it's going to happen a little more towards fall.
Just let us have a regular Christmas. One last regular Christmas.
Right?
That's what I'm hoping for. Just give us
Yeah.
one last regular Christmas.
Exactly. Then we got this bullshit. Iran threatens to intervene if Israel carries out ground war in Gaza, says Jewish state will be hit with huge earthquake.
What does he mean by earthquake?
Let's see, West Bank pizzeria that featured Holocaust survivor who was kidnapped by Hamas in despicable ads decimated. Chilling final text of Israeli and family members murdered by Hamas revealed, claiming they're here. And you had nothing to protect yourself with because you can't have a fucking gun in that country, unfortunately.
Right. Unless you live in a border town, which I think you can only get a handgun. And then you still have to go through a bunch of hoops in order to get
Well,
that.
it was also something like there's only like 50 rounds you could actually have with you at any time or whatever.
Right.
So,
Or in order to get rifles, you had to live out in the outskirts or some shit. Yeah, because one rifle against 100
yeah, exactly.
100 chariots. Great. Wonderful. Thanks. Thank
Sticky
you.
Fingers, ex-Connecticut cop suspected to be serial burglar behind at least 30 thefts in 3 states. Man, that guy's doing a shitload of work on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to... That's like the same thing with having 10 rounds in California versus like a gang of people.
Right.
So...
Exactly. Like you getting carjacked, like I guess 4 people, they all carrying like fucking Dracos and like Glock switches and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you got to compete with that with 10 rounds. Yeah, good luck.
Yep. That's why you just start strapping a bunch of 10-round mags to each other is what it is. Trying to see if there's anything else we want to talk about before we finish off tonight here.
At
Oh, yeah,
this
we can
time,
talk
they're
about
not
that eclipse.
Oh, yeah. I got a bunch of good pictures from the eclipse today.
Yeah, I didn't
Shit,
see
I
it
didn't
at
know there
all. It
was
was all
eclipse
too
today.
dank here. Yeah, Ring of Fire solar eclipse wows viewers from Oregon to Brazil.
It wasn't an actual total eclipse because watching it, there were still the left side of the sun wasn't total.
Yeah, past front of the sun, not completely blocking it out, but leaving a halo of sunlight piercing through the edges.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Albuquerque,
halo
Mexico,
either.
hot air balloons. Saw sky taking people even closer to the eclipse as the event coincided with the city's annual balloon festival.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, there's some photos of it right there.
The one in April is supposed to be a total eclipse.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should look at the pictures that I put on Discord under Match General.
All right.
One of them,
Check that out real quick.
it was hard to get the glasses on the back of the camera just perfect because I have 5 cameras on the back of my phone, and so I'm trying to use those damn Eclipse glasses to see through and zoom in, and it was a pain in the dick to do, but I got some good pictures. And just the fucking the way the shadows looked from the sun going through the trees on the ground, everything looked like ripples or like fish scales. It was fucking awesome looking.
Okay. Let's see.
And it lasted for a while too, the Eclipse did.
Yeah. Pull this up.
But yeah, the one April 8th is supposed to be a total eclipse. See, that's my favorite ones is just the way I had the glasses over it. It ended up blue. I don't know how, but it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a nail for sure.
But yeah, that's how it looked. And see, those were the ripples through in the shadow, the shade.
Interesting.
They're like fish scales. And just the way the lighting was fucking cool and kind of spooky too. It was like just someone turned the dimmer down outside. It got dim. You didn't see it, Leo?
No. Wait, what again?
The eclipse today.
No.
This might be what Guns and Gadgets was talking about here. Lake City ammo plant cancels all commercial contracts. So according to multiple news sources, Lake City ammo plant has canceled all its commercial contracts, means that stores will no longer be able to purchase ammo from that company, which currently supplies about 30% of the civilian market for 5.56. Shit.
Yeah, and I heard
owned by the U.S. government, but operated by Olin Winchester. Winchester produces ammo. That's fucking bullshit, dude. How the fuck are you gonna sit there and say no? We're not gonna do commercial shoot anymore.
Yep, and I also heard that they weren't gonna sell. I don't know if it was that same company, but I heard that 9mm wasn't gonna be sold to the public anymore. I guess because of the war, which is fucking retarded because we're not in it. It's in another part of the world that we aren't even involved with, but yet you're going to say we're not going to mass produce and sell ammunition to the general population. That's fucking bullshit. That's literally unconstitutional.
Yes, it is. Then we got the I Stand With Ukraine 50% off rack.
I saw that. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
Let's see if there's anything else you want to talk about. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's not cool, man. That definitely needs to change. Something needs to change there.
On what?
Everything. You need to start having more ammo plants jump up or something if that be the case then.
PSA needs to start fucking cranking out all types of fucking ammunition.
Something.
Like,
well, not just them. Everybody does at this point, honestly.
Going ham.
Yeah.
And good ammunition. I'm not talking about just, fucking crappy bullshit ammunition. I'm talking about like good quality but cheap.
Jesus. Disney hiking prices on theme parks by 21% as attendance falls.
Have you heard, do you know anything about, I saw a video where they were saying that, because you know how DeSantis was wanting to try to cancel Disney, Disneyland and shit because of all their, woke bullshit.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to do anything because the land that Disneyland is on is owned by the Crown.
Huh.
So he has no jurisdiction to say what they can and can't do.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I know that they were their own thing for a long time, is what it was. So
I don't know. Sound like bullshit to me, but you never fucking know anymore. I mean, China's trying to buy up much land as they can in the United States. So who's to say that
Yep.
land isn't owned by the crown?
probably. Yeah, and then of course we got Democrats. See Jim Jordan as insurrectionist extremist.
Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
They're just
Then we
pissed.
got Rep. Dan Bishop, Jim Jordan, only one who can get 217 votes for Speaker. Probably. Ring of Fire eclipse over Western Hemisphere. Let's see. Soft target for our enemies. See, Democrats worry about old, slowing down, and feeble Joe Biden.
Oh,
Well, I mean, the man falls upstairs on a regular basis now, so.
Yeah. I wonder when he's going to shit himself on live TV again like he did at the Vatican.
Yeah, let's see. New Mexico Sheriff. We won't enforce governor's amended constitutional carry ban. Ninth Circuit Court stays lower court ruling, allows California magazine ban to stay in place.
Unconstitutional.
And Morgan State shooting. One alleged gunman arrested, second on the loose, apparently. So, yeah, this is. I couldn't imagine being a kid that was born in California, grew up your entire life, and are now in your 20s, and you've had gun bans in place this entire fucking time.
Yeah.
It's just,
They don't know any
such a
different.
bunch of bullshit.
They moved to a free state like Texas, and they're like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. They need to be like California."
Yeah, let's vote in the same stupid bullshit we just left. And then we wonder when we have 10-day waiting bans like a month later. It's like, nah, bro,
I
if you
can't
want to
wait
wait
for
10
Corey.
days.
I can't wait for Corey to experience that.
I pray to God we don't.
Yeah.
At least Honda already going through what I'm going through,
Right.
which makes me happy for some reason.
As long as Abbott's in governorship, I don't think he'll ever allow anything like that to happen.
Speaking of Chicago, we had things striking again. Trans cyclists take gold and silver medals at Chicago's women's bicycle race.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Damn
pair of male-born transgender cyclists took the top 2 spots in the women's cycling categories of Chicago's Cyclocross Cup bicycle race, sparking accusations of unfair competition.
What?
Tessa Johnson, 25, won first place in the women's single speed, and Evelyn Williamson, 30, took second place on the October 7th event, according to Daily Mail, as the 2 male-born racers stood on top of the podium. Third place winner, Allison Samanda, was the only actual woman in the winners' stadium area there after the event held in Chicago's Jackson Park. Said single speed event was not only category for Johnson took for a female competitor. Johnson also won first place in the women's half calf, winning $150 in prize money. Williamson also won fourth in the half calf, winning another $75.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, there's the
And I bet their position as in the men's side was ranked. They were ranked what, like 300? Because that's usually what it is.
So there's the third real chick, and there's the first and second dudes.
So what you're saying is the chick is actually the first place prize winner.
Yeah, exactly. It's Selena Sol all over again, where bronze is new gold. So
Right, I know she pissed too.
Yeah,
Right, she
just
got
like
right, she got to stand there with a smile on her face. Like these motherfuckers.
just like Riley Gaines.
Yeah.
not many. That's the answer to that question. Actually, I think there was only one chick that ever went and competed as a guy, as a trans man, that actually won something. Every other one was a dude competing as a woman. So, I think this is where we're going to leave off tonight because this is a semi feel good story that obviously ended in tragedy. Heroic Israeli commander saved rookie soldiers at base near Gaza before dying in the firefight.
Oh, damn.
Said story of Israeli commander who sacrificed her life to save rookie soldiers at a base near Gaza during the Hamas terrorist attack has been capturing hearts and minds on social media. So, according to Jonathan Greenberg, Commander Adar Ben Simon saved his niece, who was serving at the base near Gaza over the weekend. Said Saturday, my niece was on duty at her base on Gaza border. When fighting started, she's alive today because of the heroism of her commander. That dude who gave that was a chick who gave her life to save soldiers under her command. So my niece included, he announced. So the Dar's obituary said she was 20 years old when she was killed, becoming one of the IDF casualties of the Iron Swords War. That's what they're calling this.
Damn.
So, yeah, crazy shit, man.
You know, I heard a rumor that Chicago might be becoming one of the next constitutional carry states.
The city of Chicago might become a constitutional carry state. That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
It just jumps past the actual state and just goes right to the city.
Yeah,
Nice.
because Illinois and Chicago split off. You didn't know that? They're two states within one.
Yeah.
No, the state is called Chicago.
I was just trying to leave it off on a laugh. That's all I was doing.
Yep.
I figured Leo would have
Illinois
fucking-
just a county.
Exactly.
Illinois just a county within the state of Chicago.
Illinois is a fairy tale land.
It's kind of like Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa doesn't exist. I was just trying to make everybody laugh. Leave it off on a good laughter.
Yeah.
Well, the trans winning the bike competition was the great
Oh, that
story
was very-
to leave off on.
Yeah, that was very comical. Yeah.
Leave that on a positive note. Leave off on a positive note.
Although to be fair, you just need a third man next time. Or you can just take
Yeah.
it all.
It's true. It wasn't all great.
Yeah.
It should have been a sweep.
Clean sweep. 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the 4-0 now that BLM versus the left is.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Although to be fair, I feel like one of these days you're going to have one of these Antifa guys just get one back for them. And there'll be like a 4-1 split then or something like that.
As long as they battling each other.
Yep. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right, it's win-win.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow for Honda's Sunday chat, the Gay Frog chat, on his channel. And then I'll be back here probably Monday or Tuesday for what the fuck ever. I don't even know at this point. Probably a grandstand or something. And then next panel show will be Thursday for Buckshot Thursday. So if y'all want to come to that, let me know and we'll hook you up with some links. That'll be around 4:30 or so my time. But other than that, that's where we're at for the night. Any last thoughts, gentlemen?
Stay strapped or get clapped.
More men and women's sports.
And my final note is if you live in a constitutional carry state and you go to a place that claims you cannot carry on the grounds, fuck them, carry anyway, because you never know if you're going to end up in a Texas State Fair and be a victim there. So,
Yeah.
As long as
Or
it's
just
by the
don't
end
go
of
and give them money.
Exactly. You know, we vote with our
Never-
dollars.
ever be a victim to the insane policies of the left. End of story. See y'all later.
Later.